but now she was dead in a cold, damp storage room at school. My whole body went numb. I lifted the sheet, saw her purple face. Her once rosy cheeks were stained with dried tears, her expression full of pain. The medical examiner had closed her eyes, but my little girl didn't die peacefully. I collapsed, grabbing her cold hands, my heart breaking. The birthday gift I'd bought her was still in the trunk of my car. She'd never get to see it. The school staff told me that Mark, her own father, was the one who forced Lily to stay after the parent-teacher conferences. Then he just vanished. I was trembling as I kept calling Mark. He finally picked up after about a dozen tries. "What is your problem, Sarah? Why are you calling me so much? Don't you know Jake is studying?" Jake was Lily's classmate, someone Mark always favored. I never understood it until I found out he was the son of Mark's high school sweetheart, Beth. I demanded an explanation, but Mark had a response. "Jake just transferred, and I'm his teacher, so yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Don't be so freaking judgmental, Sarah. Jake wasn't a great student. Mark tutored him every day, showering him with encouragement while he had nothing but criticism for Lily. I tried to talk to him about it. He snapped, 'I'm the teacher here. My daughter is a mess. I have to keep her in line. Otherwise, she'll grow up to be some useless piece of trash. Look at Jake. He's improving, but look at Lily. It's embarrassing.' And now, even now, he's still talking about Jake." I yelled, "Mark, how can you be so cold? You left her at school by herself. Don't you know? Stop screaming." Mark's voice was sharp. "That little brat is a liar. She was just trying to get attention. She only got third on her test. You've spoiled her rotten. She's been faking it all her life. She says she's dying. Tell her to get hit by a car if she wants to die. At least it wouldn't annoy me so much." He hung up without a second thought. My hands were shaking, dropping my phone repeatedly. I fell to my knees, looking at my lifeless Lily, and I completely lost it. How could a father talk like that to his own daughter? I'd always thought Mark was just pushing Lily to reach her full potential, but I was so wrong. He was affectionate and patient with all of his students, but he never had any patience for Lily. He was everyone's favorite teacher, but he was the source of Lily's worst nightmares. He was selfish, vain, and he pushed Lily straight into the abyss. Lily's smartwatch was dead. I charged it, went to the call log, and found she called Mark multiple times. I hit play on the voice recording. I could hear Lily crying. "Dad, my chest hurts so bad. Please help me." "Don't call me Dad," Mark replied coldly. "I'm not your dad. You're pretending because I made you stand for a little while. You're just trying to get attention. You failed your test again. What, you gonna die on me? You trying to check out?" "Dad, I'm sorry." Lily was crying hysterically. "I'll do better on the next test. Please, just help me. It hurts so bad. I really think I'm gonna die." "Go ahead and die. Stop being so dramatic. I'm busy tutoring Jake. I don't have time for your stuff." The call ended there. She had called several more times after that, but he never picked up. I was suffocating with pain. My hands shook as I called him from her smartwatch, but it went straight to voicemail. He blocked her number. He was in a warm house, calmly helping his old flame son, while my daughter was locked away in an old equipment room, begging for his help while having a heart attack, and he told her to die. How could I not feel anger? How could I not hate him? I called Mark again, and this time, Jake answered. "Hi, Aunt Sarah. Is everything okay?" I was barely holding myself together. "Put Mark on the phone. My mom just came home from work, and Mark is cooking dinner for us." Jake's voice was cheerful. "I did better on my test this week, and Mark told me that he would take me to the park next week. They said that Lily was being punished. Is she okay?" Mark told me that Lily is lying and that she is spoiled. This afternoon, Lily called and cried and said she was dying. "Do you think she is lying again, Aunt Sarah?" The innocence in his voice was like a demonic whisper that sent shivers down my spine. I clenched my fists so hard that my nails dug into my palms, the tears blurring my vision as I roared, "Get Mark on the phone." Jake started to cry, and Mark came to the phone. "What's your problem? Why are you screaming? You made Jake cry." "Mark." My chest felt like it had a brick on it. My voice was soft and trembling. "Your pathetic daughter is dead." He paused, then yelled, "Sarah, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I'm her father. Can I not punish my own child? If it wasn't for me pushing her, she'd be so dumb she would never get to be at the top of her class. Why don't you tell her that instead of playing dead, she should figure out why she did not do well?" "Playing dead?" I started to laugh, tears streaming down my face. "How could you be so cruel and heartless to a 7-year-old child, Mark? You have a heart of stone. Stop with the melodrama. I've seen so many kids like her. You have to be harsh on these kids or they'll never learn." "Lily is dead." I screamed. "Are you deaf?" I said she's dead. Dead. "Sarah, are you losing your mind? Jake is still here." Mark's voice was full of anger. "I have to do this because your daughter always embarrasses me. If I don't push her, she will never succeed. You need to tell her that if she doesn't want me to parent her, then she can just leave. I don't need to see her again." I never imagined Mark could be so cruel. Even a stranger wouldn't say these things to a child, let alone her own father and a teacher. My head was spinning. I could barely hear my voice as I asked, "Lily is dead. Don't you feel any guilt?" "What would I feel guilty for?" Mark yelled. "She's always trying to get my attention. Do you not know I had to raise her? Look at Jake." I hung up and blocked his number. The despair was overwhelming. I collapsed on the floor, gasping for air. Was this how my Lily felt as she was dying? Once I had collected myself, I contacted a funeral home to cremate her. When my parents heard, they drove in from out of town, devastated. Mark didn't come home, and I didn't bother with him. On the day of Lily's funeral, I hadn't planned on telling Mark, but my mother convinced me. She said that he was her father and he should be there to say goodbye. I looked at the black and white picture in my hand. Lily was smiling at the camera so brightly. That was from last year's birthday when she got the top score in her class. Mark was proud and promised to take her to the park. That photo was the one we took as a family under the Ferris wheel. And now, Lily was alone in her funeral picture. The irony was too much to bear. I reluctantly called Mark. Lily's funeral is today. His voice was full of annoyance. I'm busy these days. Jake is sick, and Beth is working. Jake doesn't have a father, so I have to be here for him. Why don't you ask Lily if she wants to study more? She has been playing for days. She needs to get back to her tutor tomorrow. I found myself laughing. He's completely neglecting his own daughter, not even knowing she's dead, while taking care of someone else's kid? Lily won't be going to tutoring. I said slowly, not ever. It's your fault for making her a spoiled brat. Mark was angry. You always let her do what she wants. She can just drop out of school, I don't care, whatever she does, it's better than making me stressed. Mark. My voice was soft, but shaking. When are you going to stop being so self-centered? Will you just listen? Sarah, are you going to do this to me again? You are such a jerk, and you are never going to stop. I shrieked suddenly. I said she is dead. Are you not a teacher? Why can't you understand that? He paused, like he was shocked. Lily is right here. She is being buried today. I'll wait for you for half an hour, and if you don't come, you don't have to come ever again. I hung up, a wave of grief washing over me. Mark did show up, but with such skepticism. He was confused, and eventually just stopped in front of Lily's tombstone, staring at her photo. What is this? I looked at him coldly, mocking him. Can't you figure it out, Mr. Teacher? This is the daughter you verbally abused and cursed, the one you wanted to get hit by a car. This is her grave, the grave of your own daughter.